Hello, everyday leaders. I am so excited to be here with you today on Giving Tuesday. You have probably seen a million of my posts because we have our fundraiser campaign going on for Making Everyday Leaders Incorporated, which is our youth leadership program. And you can still give it because one, you can go to everydayleaders.com and give. There's lots of ways, but I want to encourage you to find an organization that is close to your heart and represent them today, because today is the biggest day for giving for organizations. And so we're so excited, and I'm really glad because I want to introduce you to somebody that has my heart. I'm a part of her summit right now, and I wanted to give her some time to share the stage. Talking about giving, giving back is to help her talk about what she's doing in her community of this Ticket to Freedom event, and really hosting what this belief is all about to help you elevate in your businesses and your life and from your soul, which I love. So, Wendy Collier, thank you for joining us. And man, I am so excited for you to just be introduced to my community.
Thank you, Melanie, and hello, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here.
Oh, this is so great. So we are streaming to LinkedIn, we're streaming to Facebook, and we're streaming to YouTube. So if you all are members inside of this community, you may be able to make a comment. If you have any questions while we're going, please just raise up your hand and ask us. Sometimes I can see people and sometimes I can't, depending upon the different streams. But we want to honor you and answer your questions about all the great things Wendy is doing. So Wendy, you have created this Ticket to Freedom event, and it is combined of how many people? First of all, you've got this amazing panel of experts that are talking about how to gain their freedom back and really from the soul.
Yes. So the original intention behind creating this event is that we know that being a business owner, being an entrepreneur can be quite lonely. We hear that a lot, right? And even if you're plugged into a mastermind or a coaching program, it can still feel a bit isolating. And the hope and prayer is that by bringing forward I think we have 23 speakers now. We've added a couple last minute. So I think we're at 23.
Wow.
And I've selected very, very carefully selected each individual, Melanie, you being one of our amazing speakers. And we wanted to bring forth high integrity leaders, conscious leaders who are very generous in sharing what it takes to build a successful and what I call soul fueled business. What it takes spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, even, and financially, kind of looking at the business strategies as well as the inner game dynamics, so that our audience can pick and choose different topics and different people that really connect and resonate for where they are right now in their stage of business. And they get to, really custom create a little bit of a plan for themselves. And today is the first day that we've launched. We have 10 days of these sessions going out and free gifts every single day. These are business building and spiritual growth gifts that you get every single day over the next 10 days for free.
I love this. And here's the unique thing about what you're doing, Wendy. And when we connected, this is what I love where you said, this is audio, right? It's not video, it's audio.
Yeah.
And so if you guys were following me on my 50 and 50 podcast, when I launched it, it was all audio. And there is a special place when you have an audio presentation, when you have an audio learning, you tune in. That's why we always say wear headphones. Joe's in media production and he's always like, hey, wear your headphones. You really pay attention to the words, you pay attention more to the learning. And so I love that this is launching as this audio segment because you are kind of a marketing strategist, and the way that you think about helping people really learn and elevate. Not that we can't do Zoom and not that we can't do this visual presentation, but we're doing so much of that in the world and on meetings, and it's the expectation, and do people show up, right? So this audio component that you have designed this around, I think, is going to elevate the learning and the experience for people. So I really appreciate that. And I wanted to just lift you up and celebrate you for that, because being disruptive, right? That's what we're kind of talking about in my session as well, is why do you have to do it like everybody else? Just
Right.
because everybody else is doing it the same like everybody else. Right?
Yes, exactly. And succumbing to the pressure of that and the expectation of that. You get to do business by your own design. and in the way that you feel is best for you and for your audience. And there's a number of different reasons why I chose to do audio only this time. I have done video only. I've done a mix of the two. This is season 9 of Ticket to Freedom. So we've done it in many different ways, but there's a reason why. And it's a win-win for everyone involved. And it's a beautiful way for people to take it in because they're very busy. So you don't have to feel the pressure of watching a video or sitting down and watching a video. You can listen to these while you're in the car, while you're washing the dishes, walking the dog, folding laundry. Like, we just want to be in your daily life with you and make it really, really easy.
I think it's great because here's the thing, right? So we can get on YouTube. You guys may be watching this on YouTube. So I don't want to say anything about that. However,
hey, YouTube.
But when you're watching a learning series, I think, for you kind of doing these segments every day over this 10-day period, if you guys join right now, if you go to the link that you're looking at below, it's the wendycollier.com/Melahni. Melahni, if you're typing it in. But if you go there and you can join the Facebook group, right? So you'll get all of the content, kind of the preliminary stuff that's happening, as well as it's only $37 to be the VIP. And so that's like nothing to be able to be connected to some of these things that are happening behind the scenes. And I always encourage people to do that because you're going to get such a better experience, not feeling like you have to do everything right when it's released, and make sure you got the schedule together, especially during the holidays. Just give that as a gift to yourself and just step into like, I'm going to have this content. I can get to it, especially when there's a topic that you say, I really want to learn about this. You have amazing speakers. I mean, you really have top-notch people. I feel just so honored to even be a part of this. I was looking at the list going, really? Why am I in this? That whole imposter syndrome, because so tell us about the speaker list. It's amazing.
Yeah. So just going a step back, I really appreciate everything you just shared. It is absolutely free to join the event and to listen to all the sessions. What Melanie is speaking to is if you get the VIP upgrade, you have lifetime access as opposed to, the episodes expiring and you not being able to listen to all of them. And then you also get a free meditation as in client attraction meditation, a PDF download to help you get clear on who your client is, a free Zoom group event with me. And everyone can join the Facebook group if you want, but you do not need to join the Facebook group to participate. So I just want to clarify that.
Yep.
Okay. So, because not everyone's into Facebook. So the speakers are incredible. We have Melanie Benson, Wendy White, Ashley Rainey, Rebecca Whitman, Nancy Levin, Dr. Deb Sandella, Abiola Abrams, Dee Wallace, Cindy Schulson, Tish Times, AJ Marishita, Julie Sarai, Chris Libb, Corey Fonville Foster, Melahni Ake, hello, Samantha Bennett, Michelle Vandepas, Carmen Marshall, Angela Sundust, Melissa Binkley, Tara Wagner, Vanessa Raymond, and Joanne Lindenbaum. Woo! It's an all-star lineup. I'm not these, and I really, really mean this. I know sometimes in business people might think we exaggerate. Okay. I am someone who I'm pretty conservative about what I say. And I will say that these interviews, these conversations are by far the best ones I have had in any as a whole, out of all my Ticket to Freedom events. I think we just really pulled the gold out, and everyone is so generous, including you, Melanie, just so generous in sharing your wisdom, your experience. The free gifts that are offered are worth thousands and thousands of dollars, but they're absolutely free. It's just, it's so beautiful what we've created. And I want everyone to get in on this and not miss out.
This is going to be so much fun. I'm excited just because I started to learn about all the rest of the speakers and kind of their platforms. And if you go to their Facebook pages, then their LinkedIn pages, and you realize the brands that these people have, the brands that they've established, how hard they've worked to establish those brands. And, we've all gotten there on different journeys. And so I can't wait to hear behind the scenes when you think about why did you start where you did? And so my question for you, Wendy, because you have been interviewing me, but I want to learn, how did you get to Cambridge? And so how did you? Yes. So what was the story behind that? And then coming to California, like, tell me a little bit more about your behind the scenes story.
Personally, or?
Yeah. I'd love to hear that.
Well, a short snippet. I mean, it's a whole, I'll try to keep it short. I know we have to end at top of the hour, so I will. Yeah, I appreciate the question. So I am a native Californian. The Cambridge University experience, that was a study abroad in college. And it's a crazy story. It's one of those stories I've shared in podcast episodes that I've done on my Soul Feel show, because it's such an excellent example of when you have something in your heart that you want to do. And even if it feels out of reach for you, which Cambridge at the time was totally out of reach, I thought, because I was supporting myself through college 100% and working 3-4 jobs, and to pay for that trip and to go was an enormous challenge. And here's what I know for sure. When you have something in your heart you know is meant for you, but you can't explain it, even when it seems totally out of reach, and you have faith that this can happen, and you take the steps with that belief, with that complete determination and belief that you can do it, it will happen. So I was absolutely determined. I was telling everyone I was going, even though I hadn't been accepted yet. They had a wait list of 40 people when I found out about it. It was impossible odds. And I was chosen to go and there were 40 total of us that went, and there was a wait list of 40. So somehow I got to the top of that list. And I don't even know to this day how it all happened, but it did. And I believe because when you can follow that nudge in your heart and that intuitive guidance, your spiritual guidance, and you trust it, you have faith, and you take action in that faith, you don't just sit on your tushy, but you really believe it so much you're doing it, that's when magic and miracles happen.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I had said, well, I want to find out more about this, but I'm like, this is the perfect opportunity, because you just don't create events like you do and then say, well, I hope people learn from it. I want them to come and I want them to grow. You have experienced something so different than a lot of other people. And that's what makes you so passionate and credible about the space that you're in. It's you see the vision, and that's what a lot of leaders do. They see this vision way before anybody else. And then you've taken that action. I say that, and then I don't take action on the things that I've committed to, and I feel horrible about it. And and sometimes feelings get hurt from people that you're like, that wasn't my intention. You have this vision, right? You have a vision, and you want to be able to do as much as you can and grow in your capacity. And so that gets really like, how do you do it? How do you navigate through that? And so I think bringing community together of people that say, hey, I have done this, and it's never linear, right? It's never linear.
Yeah, no, everyone wants it to be, but it's pretty bumpy. It's a bumpy road.
It's a bumpy road.
Yeah.
But that's what is so important about bringing the people that have the right heart together. That
Yes.
say, look, it's not something where you're judged or you're considered like this isn't going to be possible. These are things that if you see something that you want to change and get motivated by the outcome, then do it. Like, get the right people around you to do that, because when you take that one step, that God just starts to bless you and shows up in ways you have no idea that he's waiting for you to just go, okay, I'm not afraid anymore. I'll go. Right.
Yeah. We have to do our part, right, to step in the path of what's possible. And what I love about all the speakers on Ticket to Freedom is that everyone has a real story about how they got where they are, and it hasn't been the easy road. And that's the beauty of it, because you get to hear about the struggles that they've went through as well as the triumphs, and know that you're not alone. Even if you feel like you're not good enough, pretty enough, old enough, young enough, smart enough, whatever story you have, every single one of us have had those stories. But what's beautiful is to see how people have overcome those things, share that wisdom of experience so that you can quantum leap, so you don't have to waste so much time in trial and error and struggle. So that's how we're here for each other, to come alongside and to help really make the path easier for you.
Oh, I think that's so great. So, from all of the speakers, so you have 24 speakers, including yourself, really, for this whole broadcast. And but how, kind of tell me the framework, because a lot of people say, well, it's going to be forever, right? You can watch this content forever. But for free event, right? Free event, you can join at any time. The next 10 days, or you can get this $37 all access
Mhm.
VIP pass. And so you can have access to the content. Yes, Mark, we will give you a DM about the ticket. That's great. If you're watching the screen, you can go to that link as well, but I will make sure to contact you. But here's the great thing about audio, right? Audio, like video, but audio, if you put it on your podcast link, people can search for the topic that they have, that they want information about, that they want more information to connect to. So it's really always going to be accessible. It's just the experience, right? That's what you're taking people through, is the experience right now for these 10 days. So
Well, actually, Melanie, not so we've only released a couple of Ticket to Freedom. I think only one Ticket to Freedom episode on my podcast. So the intention is not that
oh
all
my,
these sessions will be on my podcast. It's only a handful of selected ones that will be on the podcast. So
awesome.
the Ticket to Freedom event is the only way to access all of these sessions.
That's
And again,
awesome.
it's free, but these episodes expire 7 days after they're released. So the first one went out today. And then the second, then the others will release each day. They expire after 7 days. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, and that's what I wanted to clarify, right? Because here's the thing, the experience is right now, and it's what we encourage people to do, is take that action. So
Yeah, you won't be able to find this anywhere else except for maybe 2 to 5 episodes that will pull from Ticket to Freedom that'll end up on my Soulfield podcast, but not all of them. No.
yeah,
Yeah. It's very special, the Ticket to Freedom.
that's awesome. This has been such a neat experience, just from the very beginning stages of planning, being a guest, that you so graciously took the time to do all of the interviewing, and I know that it takes so much work behind the scenes. So I have to give a shout out to Elizabeth, that has been helping you, because she's been doing an amazing job keeping everybody
My team is
organized.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a whole team of people behind me that are just remarkable. Yeah.
it's been unbelievable. What would you say? What is a couple of learning strategies that you hope that people take away from this? Did you compile all of these interviews that you've done? What would you say, kind of the theme, or hey, you can do this after you walk away? You're going to be able to do these two main things.
Two main things. Woo!
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it really depends on where you are at the stage of business you're in. So this event is specifically for those who want to fulfill their purpose, and they feel they have a spiritual purpose, a calling that they express through their business. I call that soul fuel. So, and you're wanting to attract more what I call soulmate clients or customers, and you want to create recurring revenue without living on social media. So if you're not a huge social media person, you want ways to do this and grow your business and grow your following without social media, this is the place to be. Not that we don't talk about that at all, but it's super light. So again, when you join, you're going to get immediate access to the virtual event room, and that's going to have all the topics. And you want to cruise through the topics and just decide which ones you want to focus on, put the date on your calendar, wait for the email, then you'll get access to that. We are covering the inner game and the outer game of business. So the inner game being the mindset, your energy, your spirituality, some physical, vitality pieces, as well as business strategies. So there's marketing strategies, sales strategies, money-making strategies, that's all included. So again, it depends on where you are. If you're looking for clarity, if you're looking to pivot your business, if you're looking to increase your sales, lead generation, build your audience, you're going to find something available for you. So, gosh, a couple things that they'd walk away with. So many good gold nuggets. Like, I can't even tell you. I was blown away, and I've heard, I'm in the industry. I am well immersed in all the things, and I'm sure most of you are. So it's kind of hard to hear something new and fresh these days. But I have to say, there was a lot of new and fresh. There were tweaks to things that in our conversations that took these concepts to the next level. I know, like my conversation with Dee Wallace, and by the way, she was the mother in the movie E.T. back in the day. She's an actress, but she was an actress, or is an actress, but she's also really big on manifesting. And so she, our conversation took that idea to the next level, and in a way that aligns with your own spiritual beliefs and things like that. So I feel like that happened in every conversation where we're talking about something that we've heard often, but then we have a click and kind of a breakthrough that takes it to that next level understanding, what I would consider more advanced. So I think for out of the two, okay, I'm going to pick two quick things. One for sure is you will learn some excellent sales strategies. I mean, ways to look at sales and increasing your revenue without feeling sleazy, pushy, aggressive, hyper masculine if you don't want to be that, in a way that is very high integrity. There were a lot of conversations about sales. And I think that's because there's a lot of hangups, frankly, around money and thinking that money itself is greedy, selfish, the root of all evil, things like that, where, you get to look at it from a different perspective. Money is just money. It's a neutral energy. It's what you do with money. It's how you prioritize it. It's what you're sacrificing or not sacrificing to bring it in. But there is an overabundance of financial resources available to all of us. And it's up to us to be good stewards of that money and do with it what is best from, with our own character and integrity and how we use that money. But it can certainly be used for so much good. So I feel like there's a lot of freedom that you'll experience in terms of your perspective on money and sales. If you come with an open mind, you're willing to kind of look at things differently and kind of dissolve some of those blocks and maybe some stories from your family of origin that might be carrying over so that you really can thrive no matter what the economy looks like. Mm-hmm. And many of us are thriving even through, the negative news. And the other piece would be, I think there's been a lot about how we can view the work we're doing in the world and how to really be conscious leaders and not passive kind of sitting back, but really being visible, being conscious leaders, leading with integrity, leading communities, and doing our best to fulfill what we're meant to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think those are two highlights.
Well, and there you go, right? So, I mean, the elevator pitch for this whole event is gaining that clarity because everybody that we talk to, right, no matter what we're doing, no matter what industry we're in, it's about that spirit of connection. And when we do that well, we are able to pass kind of that our own soul, right? We're able to fill our soul and we're able to pass that on so that inspires other people. And this wealth isn't just financial. And I think I love the way that you said that. It's really a pass through, right? It's just like when we pass on, right? Everything that we do impacts the world and our communities. And so if we can get clear on that, and I think this is a great opportunity with the speakers that you have designed, it's just going to be one of those life-changing experiences to say, hey, you could hear it a million times. It's when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Yes.
And I would say that's what I believe from what I've seen, what I've researched on your speakers, that's what's going to happen. If you're ready to learn, lean in, then you need to be at this Ticket to Freedom event.
Yes. Thank you so much, Melanie, for being one of our beautiful speakers who I had such a delight to interview. And we're excited to get your session out there. And your session is on disruptive thinking and really take the sting out of that or the fear out of that.
Yeah. And, it's just something I think what we're all stepping into is what we naturally do. And yet you think, why don't other people see it this way? And it's because they haven't had the same experiences, right?
Yeah.
And so quickly, I mean, I know we're at the top of the hour here, but for me, I was in medical device sales for many, many years, and I was working with disruptive thinkers, disruptive, innovative technology. And when I heard that term, I thought, how is that? But it was because you were creating a new space, a new mindset for people to kind of accept based on what they already knew. And so whether it was technology that was going to help patients and save lives, or it was doctors getting together to think differently to create these think tank communities so that they could grow and learn together. And so that's what we do now. Right? That's what we do now in our communities. So I love it. And I can't wait till we can release the segments and hear from everybody. But I just so appreciate you taking this time, Wendy. I know you're really busy today and you're hopping on another segment. But thank you so much for joining us with
My
Everyday
pleasure.
Leaders. And best of luck to you. And I can't wait to connect and continue to collaborate.
Thank you so much, Melanie. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you. And bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye
Happy
for now.
Giving Tuesday. Have a great day. Get your tickets.
Bye, everyone.